three set problems or a Venn diagram, what matters most is how to represent the information on the Venn diagram, right? That is the most important thing. If you're able to grab that, I think you are a 50% off on how to solve a three set problem. So let's have a look at a question and see how best we can tackle a three set problems. Your first step in solving a three set problems or a Venn diagram is to rewrite the informations being given to you, right? From the question, you have some information, you have to rewrite them. So if you are not familiar with a mathematical symbols, something like this, then you can write the English, right? Just I don't think a police will arrest you for doing that. So this means that the number of the universal, so if you don't know the universal, the number of people participating in whatever you are doing. So you can rewrite from this question. We have that people who sell foodstuffs. So you can say that the total number of people who sell the foodstuffs are 34. Nobody will arrest you for doing that, right? If you are not okay with what the mathematics symbols. Okay, so if you are familiar with that, that is fine. If you are not familiar, just write the English and what and move on. We are just rewriting the information being given to us from the question. Now the main point is how to represent all the informations on the Venn diagram. So one thing you have to pay attention to here is that you should know exactly the names of what each categories, right? What I mean by the category here is that each rooms. So this place which people are supposed to be here, this place which people are supposed to be here, and so on and so forth on a Venn diagram. That is one major thing you have to pay a close attention to in solving a three set problem, so that you can allocate them in their corresponding rooms, right? Okay, so you just need to read the question sentence by sentence. The first sentence says that a group of 34 women sell at least one of what the following foodstuffs. So you're having a 34, you ask yourself, where exactly 34 has to be on the Venn diagram, right? So this is what the whole Venn diagram, the symbol here. So that is the whole Venn diagram. So the whole Venn diagram here, we know that everything, so assuming this is what just a community, right? This is a community, so this rectangular box here represent the whole community. So how many people are in the community? We have 34 people in the community, right? So the 34 is here. Look at where 34 is. Okay, so the 34 here tells you that in the whole community you have what 34 people in the community. So what is the next one? The next one says that they sell some of what food items. So they sell what yam, maize, as well as plantain. Is that okay? So how many people sell what yam? So this is what 22 people sell what yam here, right? 22 people sell yam. So just consider this one to be one house in the community, right? So this is a yam house, right? This portion here is a yam house. So in all, what 22 of them what sell what yam, or they normally enjoy yam. So this is the portion of what the yam. Now from the yam, you can see that in the yam house we have what 4 different rooms. So what I mean by the 4 different, this is one room here, this is another room, this is another room, this is what the final room. Can you see we have what 4 different rooms here, right? For those who sell the yam only. Can you see? So this portion, the yam house, let's say one house in the community in the world, they sell yam. So this is the house. In that house, how many rooms are in the house? You have four different rooms in that house, right? So the same applies to those who sell the maize as well as those who sell the plantain, right? So the plantain here, you can see there's how many people sell the plantain. You have this is for the maize, right? So this is for the maize. So how many people sell the maize? There are 14 in all. So in that house, how many rooms are there? We have what 4 different rooms. Okay, the same applies for the plantain, right? Okay, now we are done with that. Then the next point says that 7 sell both yam and what and maize, right? So 7 sell both yam and maize. One trick about the three set problem is that you always have to make sure that you look for the intersection of all the three, meaning those who are doing all the three things first, and put that thing down, right? There's a reason to that. The reason why we are doing that, I will explain that in just a few minutes. So you have to make sure that your first thing on the Venn diagram, after representing the universal as well as the outer numbers, this is what I mean by the outer numbers. Then your next step is what? To look for the intersection being given. If it is not given, you know what to do there. You have to replace that by what? A variable, right? So from the question you have that nobody what what is the intersection of all the three? So from the question, the intersection of all the three is on this is on 0, right? So this is 0. That's why I replaced that by what? A red pen. Is that okay? Okay, now we are free to go. Now they said that seven sell both yam what and maize. Okay, now do you know where exactly 7 has to be on this Venn diagram, right? So that is one key thing here. This is 7 sell yam what and maize. So 7 sell yam and maize. So this is the portion of that. This is the room. This is where those people has to be, right? These people must what be in this room here. This is 7 people say yam and maize. So this is their room, right? They don't belong to anywhere. This is where they are supposed to be. Okay, now pay a close attention. One trick here is that with this portion here, which people are supposed to be in this room, this particular room, which people are supposed to be in this room here? Those who say yam and what? Maize only. Yeah, right? Only, right? This portion, this particular portion here is those who say yam and maize only are supposed to be here. Is that okay? Okay, now perfect. Now the question says seven people say yam and maize without adding the word only, meaning that these people are apart, right? These people are apart. This intersection of the intersection of all the three. These guys, they say they enjoy all the three foodstuffs, right? They enjoy all the three foodstuffs. So how many are they? They are just 0. But the question said that 7 people were say what? Yam and maize without adding the word only. These guys are part, but fortunate for us, this is just 0, right? So the trick here, if you are not getting the concept of that, okay, assuming here is 2. Assume you have 2 here. Assume you have 2. They say 2 people sell all the 3 foodstuffs, and then further you have another information that says that 7 people sell yam and maize, right? But already you have these 2 guys who sell all the 3 what? Food items. Is that okay? So now if you say 7 people sell yam and maize, that means that these guys are also part, right? They are part. So I know if I'm going to replace that information on what? On this Venn diagram, know that this portion is for what? Those who sell yam and what? Maize only, right? Those who sell yam and maize. This particular room here is for what? Those who sell yam and what? And maize only. Is that okay? If you say yam and maize only, then you have to be here. But then you have to take this guy out, because we don't want the situation whereby you say all the 3 items, because we are classifying them into what? A class. Which class are they supposed to be, or which room they must live here, right? So you have to take this guy out of that. But the trick here, the simple trick here is that if you are finding it difficult to understand this thing, when you get to the portion here that says that 7 people say yam and maize without adding the word only, just subtract the intersection from that, right? So this will be what? 7 minus what? 7 minus 0, right? Here should be 7. That gives me 7. That's why I got a 7 here. Okay, so this portion here, this particular portion here has to be what? 7 minus 0. Is that okay? So the same as what? 7. Okay, so just simple like that. If the question says 7 people say yam and maize without adding the word only, just subtract the intersection. But if they say 7 people say what? Yam and maize, then only, then you know that this room here is for those who sell those 2 foodstuffs only. Is that okay? That is just the simple trick to that, right? That's just the simple trick. If they say that okay, now let's move on to this part. Maybe you get a better understanding over there. Now let's move on. The next one says that 9 sell yam and plantain, right? Look at something. 9 sell what? Yam and plantain. Where are they supposed to be on the Venn diagram? They are supposed to be here, right? Because this is the room of yam, as well as the portion of plantain, right? So the adjoint is here. This is where they are supposed to be what? On the Venn diagram. Now listen, the question says that 9 people say what? Plantain what? And yam, right? Plantain and yam, they are supposed to be. Obviously that sentence is open without adding the word only, but I know that this room here is for those who say what? Yam and what? Plantain only. Now you are telling me that those 9 people say what yam and plantain without adding the word only. Where are they supposed? They don't have any portion on the Venn diagram. Are you getting my point? They don't have any portion because I know that this portion is for what those who say what yam and plantain only, and then you are telling me that 9 people say what yam and plantain. Where are they supposed to be? They don't have any portion in our community. They don't have a room in the community here, right? So what I have to do, you have to subtract this guy from that. That is what 0. So 9 minus 0 is 0, right? I'm doing this for the sake that suppose this portion is not 0, but it's different thing. It can be x or it can be 2. So you should know exactly where to subtract that. Okay, now so those are the information that we are having, and then I think that is all. They say should represent this information on the event diagram. Now your next step here is to make sure that you don't leave any room blank. What I mean by that is that you don't have to leave any space empty. So if you know that you already occupy all the space with the information being given to you, and then you have some portion being left empty, then all I have to do is to represent those portion by what? A variable, right? We don't want any room to be empty because we know that it has people inside those rooms. So here I represent that here by what? A, and then here should be what? B, as well as what? Here should be what? C, right? And then here is what? X. So this thing, you can use your own variables to represent on the form. All that matters is that don't leave any space what? Empty. Okay, now let's move on to the first. So that is what a very nice Venn diagram that we have on the board. Okay, now the next question is find the number of people who say well maize and what? Plantain only, right? So maize and plantain only. Where exactly is maize and plantain only? So you should ask that. That is why you should know exactly where everybody must be on the Venn diagram. They say what? Plantain and what? And maize only. Plantain and maize only. Where? Yeah, they have a room here. So this portion, this is where they're asking you to find. Right? So how do you do that? How do you do that? You don't know which people are supposed, or the number of people who say what that's maize and what plantain only. Obviously, the question says that only, meaning that this is their portion. Only this is their portion. So this is what we are looking for. So how do you get that? Now you can see that from the Venn diagram. From the Venn diagram, I know that the whole portion here, this circle here is for those who say what yam. How many are there? There are 22. So maybe this one can help me to find this portion. So let's look at how to do that in just a few minutes. So this portion here is for those who say what yam, right? Those how many are there? There are 22. So in that house, there are 22 people in the house. So with how many rooms? 4 different rooms. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I add all the rooms, that should give me 22. Can you see that? Okay, so let's add that. So this is how I got 22 is equal to a plus 7 plus 0 plus 9, right? So this should be equal to, when you solve that, because we don't know one room, number of people in one room, this information, but we know the number of people in 3 different rooms, and that will help us find the missing one. So when you solve this thing, you should get a is equal to 6, right? A is equal to 6. You just need to sum up and then subtract. Okay, so a is equal to 6. Not just a, but a from the Venn diagram. Look at where a is, right? A is here, and you know that this room here belongs to those who sell the yam only. This, when you go to this room right now, you should find the number of people who sell yam only. They don't say anything else. So meaning that 6 people will sell yam only. Now, for doing that, the same way you find these people who sell the yam only is the same process you have to use and find those who sell the maize only here, right? So the same process. Okay, I know what you are thinking. Maybe some of you will say, now what about this x? What are you going to do with this x? Just close your eyes, one of your eyes on this x, and do your thing. How did you get the a? You add all the 4 rooms here, and then you create out to 22. I know that because fortunately for you, have the number of people who said what maize, right? How many are there? There are 14, meaning that this 4 room, this room, this room, this room, this room should be what to be 14. When I add everybody, that should give me what 14. Is that okay? What are we looking for? You should know what we are looking for. I'm looking for those who sell what the maize only here, right? This room here. I'm looking for those who sell what the maize only. So what I have to do is to add this, add this, add this, add that, and then you equate out to 14. And then you solve for your B. That B is what those who sell what the maize only, right? So 14 is equal to the 7 plus 0 plus x plus what plus b, right? Plus x plus b. Forget about this x and move on. Do your calculations, right? Just do your calculation. If they won't give you the x, they should be there. Don't mind them. So let's move on, right? So what I have to do is what is to do your calculation, then add that right. We are having now we want b, right? We want b. So b here, we should make b the subject. So let's send everybody to the other side so that the b can stand there. That is what we are looking for. So when you do this become negative. The x also become negatives, right? So that should be what b is equal to 40 minus 7 minus s, and then your b should be what 7 minus s, and it should be there. We don't care about that. So we know that the people who say what maize only are 7 minus x. Once they give us the x or we find the s, we will know that the number of people who find the maize are also so and so. Okay, so the same process applies to the third one, right? The third portion here is what those who say the plantain only. Is that okay? Those who say the plantain, obviously this is their room. So how many people, how many rooms are we having in that compound? There are 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then how many people say what the plantain? They are 18. So when I add all the 4 rooms, that should give me what 18. So the same way, so when you solve for that, you should have what your c, which is what the plantain only should be what 9 minus x. Is that okay? 9 minus x. The reason why we are doing all this, we are finding the only aspect is that we want to make sure that we have everything in just one variable. What I mean by that, we want to know that only one person is missing, right? The x is missing here. So once we are able to find everything in one variable, then we are free to go. So now the whole community, what I mean, don't do this thing in your test, right? Nobody say the whole community. So what I mean by the whole community is that the total number of people who sell the plantain the total number of people who sell all the food items are 34, right? They are 34, the investor, right? So the whole community, there are 34 human beings in that community. Is that okay? So which community are you talking about, sir? This is the whole community that we are talking about. Is that okay? So how many rooms are in that community, right? How many rooms do you have in the community? You have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as well as 8 outside, right? So if you are not giving that, that is fine. But if you are giving, you are free to add that. Is that okay? So in all, you have 8 rooms what in the whole community. Of course, you have 8 different regions of in 3 set problems. So here, once you find this, you find that, and you find this one as well, then all that you can sum everybody, you can add all, and then what equate out to 34. Why are we doing that? We know that in that whole community there are what 34. That is why we are doing that. If you don't know, you add them just like that, a plus this plus this plus this, right? You find it difficult to find them. So that is the reason why we solve for this guy, we solve for this, as well as we solve for that. Is that okay? So the whole community here, they are 34. So let's add them. That is 6 plus what 7 plus what 0 plus 9 plus everything, right? Plus everything on the Venn diagram. That should be equal to 34. Is that okay? That should be equal to 34. Now you can see that all the variables as we are seeing are just one variable. So this is only one person that is missing. Now we can solve our work what very simple, because of we have only one variable. So just do a calculation, add and subtract, right? We know this thing already, how to add and subtract. So when you add everything, you should get on the left hand side to be 38 minus x. So 1x will remain. Is that okay? So 1x will remain, because you can see this is minus, so this one will cancel that guy. So we left it only one person. Can you see? Yeah, okay, so that's a quick one. Now what do you do? So what do you do? We know that we are looking for this guy, right? We are looking for that guy. That is what the question asks us to find. You also say what maize and plantain only, right? Maize and plantain only. So this is their portion on the Venn diagram, and then we represent that by what x here. So that is exactly what we are looking for. So when you solve for this thing, you should have what your x should be equal to what 4, right? So that should be here should be, when you take that to the other side, that should be what minus x is equal to minus 4. You divide both sides by minus 1. So your x should be what 4, right? So we are not looking for x here. X represents something. X represents what? We should answer the question, right? Therefore, X, S, or maybe sorry, so like consider that four people say what? Maize and what? Plantain only. Of course, that is true. When you look at the Venn diagram, you consider this portion is for those who sell maize and what? Plantain, right? And then they are X. So in this case, they are four. Is that okay? Okay, now the final part of the question. The final part of the question says, what is the probability that a woman selected at random from the group says or plantain only? So we are looking for probability. The idea of a probability here is that is what we are looking for, right? What we are looking for, over the total divided by the total. So let me just explain that. A quick scenario to a probability is that when it's a probability of something is what we are looking for, right? So what we are looking for here, what are we looking for? We are looking for those who sell plantain only. So assuming in your family you guys are in all you guys are 10, right? In all you guys are 10, and then they say find the probability of something. So that something is exactly what we are looking for. What are we looking for? Let's say the probability of the children in your family. So now assuming in your family your children, how many children? Let's say you have 3, right? The children in your family are 3. So this is what we call a probability, right? Is what we are looking for over the total, right? What are you picking and where are you picking them? So here we are picking 3, right? So where are we picking these 3 from? We are picking them from what? The entire family. That is what? 10. So this is what we call a probability, right? So something over something. This something is what we are looking for, and then where are you looking them from? We are looking them from what? The entire family. So the name here is, or this is what we call it, an event, and then this one just a sample space. If you have a problem on that on this channel, if you enjoyed the video, maybe you may subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this, right? Okay, now let's answer the question. They say, what is the probability that a woman selected at random from the group says of plantain only? What are we looking for? We are looking for plantain only. From where? From the whole community. That is 34. Is that okay? Now it's your duty to find out the number of people who say what plantain only. So how many people say plantain only here? So you just have to look for that. So look at your Venn diagram here. So where exactly is those who say the plantain only? So this portion, right? This portion is for those who sell plantain. That is C. So do we know C? We know C to be equal to what? 9 minus X, right? 9 minus X. And then we also know X. X is what? 4, right? So X is 4. Now that, boom, so we are able to get the plantain, right? Plantain only. So that is what? C is equal to 9 minus X, and the X is 4. So of course 9 is C is equal to 5 here, right? C is equal to 5. Is that okay? Okay, now you can find the probability. As I said earlier, is what we are looking for, or what we are picking divided by the total, right? So what are we picking? We are looking for 5, and what is the total? That is 34. So this is what we call a probability. Is that okay? Okay, so thank you very much for watching our video.